Hey y'all, it's Jen. So I wanted to walk y'all through a typical shopping haul of what I get whenever I go shopping on Sundays. So I go to my meeting at 2, I get out at 3 o'clock, and then I go to Walmart's typically, and then I come home and I meal prep. So the goal for me is to have more whole foods than processed foods. So here are a whole lot of fruits and vegetables. I kind of walk you through it. And then this is all I have for processed. I didn't really get that much stuff. And some stuff I usually use and I just kind of ran out. But let me walk you through kind of what I grabbed. And I try to, change it seasonally of whatever they have. But see the proportion, there's not that much. There's my husky in the back of the frame and my husband watching TV or something. But so let me show you what I got. So I got some blueberry here that are my husband's favorites. I love strawberries, and they were $1. If I get grapes, they have to be really firm. Then I have some plums and some peaches, tons of bananas. I love Red Delicious apples. I know a lot of people don't. They happen to be my favorite. I kind of honestly like the waxy texture, which is probably terrible for you, but I do. And then I have some red tomatoes and an onion. This, I guess, is actually processed, but it's, there's 0 points, and so I kind of threw it on this side. But I'm going to show you, I promise, at the end of this video, how to bake acorn squash. There is actually a label usually on an acorn squash of how to bake it. So if you go by that recipe, you could do that as well, or you can find other YouTube videos too. But I'll show you at the end, and I kind of just use them almost like potato French fries, or at least a good version of it. So sugar snap peas are my obsession. They are so delicious. I also got green beans for prepping. I got 2 bags of lettuce because I've been eating a lot more salad lately. Some broccoli, no big deal. And then Brussels sprouts are my absolute favorite green vegetable. So that's all I got for my fruits and vegetables. And then I also got, there's my husky and my Akita in the background. Anyways, and so over here in the processed section, the only bread I'm really eating right now that I didn't intend to, but it's all I'm doing, is this English muffin. This one I don't like. It's Thompson I don't know what it was. It's terrible, and it has no flavor. I'm going to go back to the oatmeal one that has cinnamon. It's so much better. It's like 1 more point, but it's worth it. I got extra Ziploc bags for my meal prep because it's important. Usually I get the Pillsbury thin crust, which I like so much better. So this one, I wind up cutting in fourths all the time anyway, and basically make 4 individual pizzas for me and my husband. I usually have 1 in a big salad. He has like 2 in a salad. So this one I just like used a rolling pin and rolled it out, and it was fine, whatever. This is a Light Smart Progresso. It's got like 45 calories. I want to say it's got some points. I'm sorry, I can't remember how much it is, but anyways, it's actually pretty good, and I usually jack up the flavor with seasonings, but that's just me. This is the stuff I use for Asian meatballs, and I will show you in this video how to make it. It's no big deal, but the way that I cook, I usually just throw stuff together. That's how my mom cooked, and that's how I cook. And anyway, so there's some teriyaki glaze. This is the stuff you would usually find at either sushi or Asian restaurants. It's delicious. We use a lot of it. This I picked up because I thought it would be good. It's supposed to be like citrus or whatever. It's just glorified soy sauce. I wouldn't recommend it. Whatever. I'd rather just slice up an orange or lemon or lime and like pour that into soy sauce whenever I'm cooking something. This sugar-free Hershey syrup, if you want to put it in milk, I don't recommend it. If you want to pour it over like strawberries or something like that, then sure, go ahead and get it. But it does not mix into milk, FYI. But I got it on a pinch because I was craving chocolate milk, and that didn't really work out. So here are the Nutella little mini things I've showed y'all before. I put 1 on my English muffin, and this and that English muffin together is 7 points. If I use the better English muffins, it's 8. So it's a little high for breakfast, but it makes me happy. Turkey pepperoni, don't ask me how many points it is. I don't remember, but I use them on the pizza, and they're a heck of a lot less fattening than regular pepperoni, which make me sick anyway. I have a thing with sausage problems. So ground chicken, I'm going to use half for taco salads and half for the meatballs. I will show you that later. The ground chicken, if you can find it, is so much more flavorful, and I just think it's a lot more moist than turkey. I think turkey's kind of dry, at least how I cook it. This turkey sausage, it's kind of the only sausage my stomach can handle. I can't handle most sausages, which is annoying because I'm actually part German, and that's really annoying to me. That or bratwurst. So Anyways, all I do with this is throw it in the bottom of my fridge, and if I need a pinch of a dinner for whatever reason, I just use it that night, and I just throw it in a saucepan. Here's some chicken. I'm just going to put lemon pepper and salt and pepper on it and just throw it in the oven. I do it for 30 minutes at 350. All of these things I'm about to show you, my husband loves nuts, and he is a European technician. He works on cars, and so he needs extra boost of like fats and energy during his day because he's like physically working hard. Anyway, so I grab these, and they're very high in points, and then I'm going to mix them with a lightly salted almond, which are actually quite good for you. I'll eat those. The other ones, by the way, the caramel ones are delicious if you have the points for it. I don't, though, usually. Anyway, so I'm going to mix both of those with sunflower seeds, which I'm clearly an idiot and forgot I still had some. And then mix it in with raisins, which I can't stand. So I'll show you in a little bit. I just I mix them all together, throw them in individual bags, and you're good to go. So what I do for the chicken is I put lemon pepper with pepper and salt, a little bit of spray. I cut off all the extra fat and all the extra little gross crap on the side. I heat them in a pan and give them to my dogs. I'll show you in a minute. Of course, cooked 100%. Like I burn them practically just because I'm paranoid. But I cook chicken at 350 for 30 minutes. I'll show you in a minute. This is boiling water for all of my vegetables to blanch. So I'm going to start with the Brussels sprouts. I just chunk them in there once it's boiling. I set my timer for the Brussels sprouts. I do them for 4 minutes, and then I pull them out and put them in an ice bath. I already did the Brussels sprouts. These are the green beans. So I'm clearly not putting that in the camera shot. But I put ice in the bottom of a bowl, and then you take them out. The green beans I only do for 2 minutes because I like them pretty firm. You could eat them raw, really. It reminds me of being on a farm. But anyways, so you take them out of the boiling water, and then you put them in an ice bath. And basically, you're shocking the vegetables to stop cooking to where they're crisp, and they don't continue to cook. If you just left them out just to cool on their own, they're going to continue to cook because they're still hot. So if you throw them in ice water, then they're going to stop the cooking process. And that way, it only cooks them for like just a couple of minutes, and then it stops. And that's basically how you blanch, in case anyone didn't know. So this is the easiest way for me to prep vegetables because I can do it all in one pot, and I just have a whole lot of bowls of vegetables, and then I just rinse them off once they're cooled. So you see the Brussels sprouts in the back. And then next I'm going to be doing broccoli, which is my husband's favorite. I prefer Brussels sprouts, but the water tends to start looking kind of green. It's okay. The only thing I ever put in the water is just a little bit of salt, just to add a little bit of flavor. For the new potatoes, I literally just slice them basically in half or maybe into thirds. Salt, pepper. You can add whatever you want. You can make them sweet. You can make them savory. Throw them in the oven. Honestly, I don't know, till they're brown. Here's the chicken. I cut them in half for proportion, also to make sure they're cooked. Here's all my vegetables. This is going to be for the dogs here. See, I burn the crap out of them. Anyway, so those are treats for the next 2 days. Jasmine rice, no big deal. Follow it 2-to-1 ratio. And then for the ground chicken, I'm going to cut it in half, use half of it with onions, and just meal prep it for a dinner for taco salad, which I've been on a kick for. And then the other half I'm going to use for Asian. Sorry, I'm grabbing a spoon or something. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to just add cumin and chili powder into this and just brown it on, I don't know, medium or whatever. And I'm just going to throw it in a Tupperware so I can have it ready for a dinner. So that way, whenever I get home, I have huskies, so I have to vacuum all the time. And, having meal preps cooked, it saves me so much time and frustration and irritation. So let me show you how to make the Asian meatballs. So literally, you throw the stuff in a bowl, almost kind of like you're making meatloaf. You're just going to make them smaller. So I have chicken in the middle. Then I have onions. I have an egg. And then I have the teriyaki glaze. And then I put salt, pepper. I put the chili pepper in there, or the chili sauce, or whatever it's called. You can find it anywhere. And then soy sauce. I think it was a half a cup of breadcrumbs. And then I use a melon baller to put them in mini tins. And then I put them in the oven, I don't know, till they're brown. I guess 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes till they're brown. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I'm not really specific on cooking. Anyways, but they're really delicious, and I just cool them down, and I throw them in a Tupperware, and they're ready for whatever night I want to have meatballs. So there's some potatoes. I clearly need to clean my oven. It's disgusting. Anyway, so it's super easy. No big deal. You can add whatever seasonings you want in it. Just make sure it's not too wet. So I had some mushrooms I forgot to use last week, so I'm just going to saute these with Worcestershire sauce. It's my favorite way. Cook it on low, let them cook down. I threw it in a Tupperware just to use sometime during the week. Maybe throw it on top of the rice with maybe some chicken. So here's the meal prep. So in each one, I put a half a cup of rice, a piece of potato, 3 ounces of chicken with either some barbecue or just some hot sauce. And then I put either the green beans, the Brussels sprouts, or the broccoli. It works out perfect for my husband and me. We don't have any children right now. So I love Brussels sprouts. He loves broccoli. And so that helps us not eat each other's favorite vegetable. Here's my disaster. I have to finish cleaning. And then here's how I prep the rest of my fruits and vegetables and my meats for the rest of the week. So here are the meatballs that we'll eat one night. I already prepped what are they called? The grapes. And then here is the rice and all the other vegetables. There's the mushrooms and potatoes. And so that way I can just grab stuff and just heat it up. And dinner literally takes 10 minutes. And there's the chicken that I'm going to use. And then all of my beautiful vegetables on the counter, looking pretty, and also it's easy to grab. So over here, this is where I make my breakfast. I get a Nutella thing. I usually honestly do this while I'm brushing my teeth. So anyways, and behind that I have a couple of fruit things in water. And then these were those, they're either 8 or 9 points per bag, which is crazy, but my husband loves grabbing them because he can just kind of throw them in his mouth and continue working or whatever and just have a little bit of energy going on. So we're running out of breath. So in my fridge, I have this container. It's actually for shoes, but I put all of my little refrigerated snacks. There's tomatoes in the back, which are my absolute favorite. I usually eat those on the way home from work. That stops me from eating fast food. So let me show you how to make acorn squash. Okay, y'all, here is my recipe for making baked acorn squash. I got the idea from Pinterest, but they use like oil and cheese and breadcrumbs and all kinds of things, and I don't want to do that, because if you bake acorn squash without any oil, it's 0 points. So what I did is I got an acorn squash and I hollowed it out, so it's kind of just like a pumpkin and it has seeds. If you want to roast them, you could. I just don't ever care. Anyways, it's basically a little bit bigger than your handful. And then I sliced them up. You can either do them like chips and do them really thin, but those burn a little bit quicker. So if you do them kind of like this, and I don't mind the skin on them, if you want to peel them, you could. I spray them with a little bit of cooking spray, and then I just use salt, pepper, crushed red pepper, and then some lemon pepper, which sounds weird, but I like it. But you can use whatever seasoning you want. It's all 0 points. Anyway, so cut them up like you would a sweet potato. And then I'm going to toss them in all this stuff. I'm going to finish cutting up this one. I just kind of wanted to show you kind of the before. And then I'm just going to put them on a cookie sheet and put them in the oven at 400. So give me a second. I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so here's how they look afterwards. They taste just like sweet potato fries. They're absolutely delicious. You can put them with, you know, ketchup. Be careful of the sugar content of that, but they're really crispy. So I did them for about 40 minutes baked, and then I put them under the broiler just to crisp them up. But anyways, pretty simple. I like them with the skin. They don't bother me at all. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful for you. You can kind of see what I do and what I choose on Sundays for the week. Have a good one.